Welcome in to a special 2-hour coast to coast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you get the memo?
Well, yeah.
2 hours. We need
The
stamina.
folks,
we need
oh my
endurance.
God.
Yes.
I've
it's
got
gonna
the
be
coffee.
Fun.
I've got the Java.
All right,
I'm ready.
Let's do this. You know, we got news. We got news out of Dallas. Cari, a new Cowboys head coach.
How do you feel about that? It's not about how you feel, though.
Really isn't.
Okay, you're right. Let's start the show. My bad. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
Pick and roll this season, then Lucas. So, speaking of, we've got our guy, NBA analyst Matt Barnes, back with us. I appreciate you joining us on Coast to Coast. So, we're talking about Luka. We've seen so many LeBron-Luka comparisons. Do you feel that that's an accurate comparison?
I think it's a very accurate comparison. You know, people don't realize that Luka's been a pro for a long time. You know, playing overseas and back where he's from, and then coming here. I think he was the most advanced rookie I think we've seen in a long time as far as a full skill set offensively. He continues to develop, continue to get more confidence, and he feels like there's no one in the world that can guard him. He's out there having a good time, getting his teammates involved, and he's really taking the league by surprise.
So it's interesting that you say we forget he was playing pro for a very long time. Do you think that then it's not necessarily fair to consider him a sophomore in the NBA?
No, it's still because this is obviously a higher level in the NBA, but he's been having that experience since his teenage years. So he's been playing against older grown men for a long time. So experience, same thing that LaMelo Ball is doing.
Okay.
He's playing against older men, getting that experience. So when he gets here, he'll still be a rookie, but it's, you know, he has a little bit under his belt.
Okay, that's fair, a fair comparison. Meanwhile, let's talk about the Lakers. They host the Pelicans tonight at 10:30 Eastern right here on ESPN. So Zion had a full practice. We're excited about that now under his belt. No timetable of when he's going to return, but we do know that it'll be something special. What will it mean for the NBA when Zion returns and finally plays?
I think the world's been waiting. This is probably the most anticipated debut maybe ever. You know what I mean? A #1 pick that completely dominated college last year and showed great signs early in the preseason and then got hurt. The one thing I take my hat off to the Pelicans staff, or training staff, is walking him along. He said something yesterday or 2 days ago that he would have been back 2 weeks ago if it was up to him. As athletes, we need protection most of the time. So I'm glad they're kind of baby stepping him back into the process, whether it's tonight, whether it's next week. Just want to make sure he's fully ready. You know, a meniscus isn't a terrible knee injury, but it is a knee injury, and you don't want it to, you know, linger on.
You say athletes need to protect themselves from themselves. Humans, too. Like, right?
Absolutely.
Human nature. We need to protect ourselves from
Absolutely.
ourselves. Meanwhile, tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN, Sixers face the Rockets. Philly has lost 3 straight. I mean, they had this great Christmas game, which you and I just talked about off camera. And then now they seem to be struggling. If you look at what's happening with that team, should there be any cause for concern?
I don't think so. Like we said, they just, a week and a half ago, they destroyed the best team in the East. Very convincingly, and now that's a small 3-game skid. The Lakers, had a small skid as well. It happens. This is January. This is kind of the dog days of the season. Everyone's a little bit more grumpy. They're waiting for All-Star break, so I don't really see any problem. You know, what Joel Embiid said about, didn't say his name, but that Ben basically needs to take his open shots to keep the space and keep people honoring him. I agree with that, but I think Ben knows that as well. But again, I think this is just an overreaction. It's a small 3-game losing streak. They win 2 or 3 games. We're not going to be talking about this in a week.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. He did say at the end, ultimately, he will be fine. And by the way, you still have such because you played recently, a player's mentality. So you want to make sure that we manage it. We don't make it more than what it is. It's just them saying.
Well, I think it's dangerous, too. I mean, especially with this team that's really kind of still searching for a leader, stuff that gets out of the locker room. This is, Josh Richardson said some stuff. Joel said some stuff. Everyone's talking to the media. But what's most important is with those guys in the locker room all being on the same page. So you don't really want to let the media come in there and kind of divide and say this and say that. I think they know that. They got some years under their belt. But leadership has always been a question in that locker room, so hopefully they figure it out.
Matt Barnes, you provided us with some leadership today.
Well,
thank you for joining us. David, thank you. Meanwhile, do you guys remember when Dabo Swinney once said Deshaun Watson is the Michael Jordan of football? When his college coach said that, I know many of us paused because we hadn't seen that magic just yet. But Deshaun Watson has led the Texans to a 10-6 record, winning the AFC South title. Watson finished the season throwing for 26 touchdowns and 12 picks. And now he leads the Texans into battle against the Bills in a wildcard game. Matt Hasselbeck sat down with the former Clemson quarterback to find out more about his MJ qualities.